Good morning, Dubai. How are you doing? Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through all the trending stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. Before I take you through the top stories of today, first of all, a big welcome to our producer Shahir, who's joining me on the show until Simran's return.
Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you so much, Casey.
Not at all. What are you thanking me for?
Having me on? I don't know. It's been a while.
You're joining us in Simran's absence. She will be back. It's great to have you on. And you're usually the man behind the scenes.
It's different. So much light hitting me all at one time.
I do enjoy the lighting.
Do you?
Yes, it's helpful. Top stories today, we're talking the ruler of Dubai touring the Vision Pavilion is an emotional roller coaster, particularly if you're interested in the story of the UAE. Also, I have a fantastic weather update. I can't wait to tell you about it.
And Dubai police thought region's biggest smuggling attempt worth 500 million dirhams.
Which is just crazy. And please stay tuned, because later in the show we have none other than a master chef in studio. We're going to be talking all things getting on the show. She was master chef in India. She got to the finals, and all things beyond the show as well. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited. I feel hungry just looking at her Instagram and talking about it.
She brought a snack. We have a snack in studio. I'm going to eat it all. I've claimed ownership of it. You had your shot.
I wasn't even aware.
I know, which is why I didn't say anything. But I'll do the taste testing behind the scenes.
Ali, what do you think of this? Shahir coming on saying he's already taking the snacks. Where's the team effort? There's no space at the table for people who don't share snacks.
Which is why I won't even be on the table.
Are you an office snack sharer?
I am. I always offer all the crisps I bring in.
You know what you do, though?
That's all I do.
You know what you do? Shahir has quite a good snack selection, I would say. However, you go, I don't want this anymore. Does anyone want it? So you put that negative on it. So it's like, I'm not going to eat these crisps. Does anyone else want them? And it's like, well, now I don't want to take them.
I'm trying to be better in terms of what I eat. I literally live off snacks. So I'm trying to progress, have full meals. I started making avocado toast in the morning.
Oh, look at you.
It's a step forward.
100%.
You should be proud of me.
I am proud, but I just mean your snack sharing. It never makes me want to take them. That's all.
I'm sorry. I'll stop making those comments. I'll just offer them.
Before we jump into our top stories, what blew up the internet yesterday?
Kim Kardashian, amazing. She was on SNL last night. Or yesterday morning for us. She did an amazing job. Honestly, acting skills on point. Outfits on point, but everyone's just talking about how much shade was thrown on the entire family.
True. So this was like the intro on SNL Live. She looked fantastic. 100%. That pink was amazing. She always does. My only thing is that we'll go through the shades in a second, because it really made you be like, pfft. But she had someone writing them for her.
Yeah, still, look, the thing is, she acted before. Didn't do the best job.
Sorry.
She attempted acting before.
Why did Kim Kardashian act?
I think it was 2010. I think the movie was called End of the World or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Terrible acting. Terrible. No offense, Kim. We love you here. She also had a song called Jam. No one jammed to it.
Okay.
It was so auto-tuned. So she practiced 20 hours a day for SNL. She went through acting classes. She spent like crazy hours with all the writers. And
of course she did, because the shades were on point, but I just think that she probably got help.
100%, but like it benefited her in the end.
True. Well, I was going to say she got help, but let's just go through one of our favorites, because she basically, Caitlyn was not safe. The sisters were not safe. Chris was of course not safe, but the one that we thought was the best was she publicly shaded Kanye West, which is tricky, because what we know is that they're actually not in a relationship anymore, but we thought they weren't, and then she appeared at his show in the Balenciaga Couture, so it's a bit confusing. But she loves confusing us, and what she said was that she was actually running for president of the United States. For a second.
And then said, I'm kidding, we can't have 3 failed politicians in the family, which is Kanye, Caitlyn, and, well, soon to be, not to be
herself.
Her. Yeah, literally.
But the Kanye West presidential run really just kind of like worried the world.
Yeah,
because you're like, well, I do like his music, so vote.
Yeah, literally. But him running the world, not too sure. But everyone like took it on the chin. She thanked everyone in the end, saying thanks for being such good sports to the entire family.
Well, well, no, because you're going to see the next day, like the sister's cancelling her. Thank you for being such good sports to my shades.
Unfollows all of them.
Exactly.
But I think she did a good job overall.
Yeah, same. I'm just looking at your comments. Someone said she did better this time in SNL, so she's obviously done it before.
Has she? I don't remember being on it before.
But you can watch it all. We both found it on Instagram on that Saint Hoax page. So if you actually want to watch like a rundown, because I didn't see the full thing, you can just watch it on Saint Hoax Instagram. Let's jump into our top stories. We are, of course, talking all things Expo. We are super excited about it. And yesterday, the ruler of Dubai touring the Vision Pavilion is actually an emotional roller coaster. So every single day we're inundated with reasons to visit Expo. And here's one more. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, he was at Expo yet again, and he was exploring a number of pavilions, including the Seychelles and Montenegro. But the one that's catching our attention this time is his visit to the Visionary Pavilion. And what's cool about this concept is it actually looks at his story, which is his book that brings 50 of his stories of life to paper. Now, the pavilion itself is opposite the Women's Pavilion, and within it you can actually explore the life of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed from childhood to present, and it's an immersive dive into the story of the nation, and it's just one more incredibly slick pavilion that we need to check out.
I think no matter who you are, you go through a lot, right, in life. All these big moments aren't that significant to you in that moment, and you don't realize what big impact you're creating in your own personal life. And us mere individuals, we don't, it's not on a global scale or a national scale.
Yet.
Yeah.
Dream big.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Fingers crossed. But just generally to see what you've accomplished over the years, I think that's amazing. I would also be emotional. Like even going through my photos and seeing what happened within the last year, that gets me emotional. But to see how much you've developed a nation, everything you've gone through, I don't know.
Well, no, 100%, because this is it. The photos are touching because you're watching what we find incredibly inspiring, but to see the visionary within the Vision Pavilion and to watch that inspiring story unfold, and like I think if we want to visit, it's a 15-minute immersive experience. But there's incredible photos of him, touching parts of the experience that obviously mean the most to him. Parts of his work in equestrian, especially with his horse, which is very, very special. And it's just one more pavilion, which actually I wasn't even aware of, because I'm more aware of like the country pavilions, and then there's these there's over 200 pavilions, but there's 192 country pavilions, and this is one of the extra ones that's there, and you can check it out, and I would really recommend it.
That's the thing, like you go into the expo thinking, whoa, I've seen a lot today, but there's always more, and there's
there's just people are just like, it's going to take weeks, if not years. I mean, like, how can they close it after 6 months when we will not fully have explored it? That's the thing.
I had a conversation with my dad, and he literally said the same thing. He was like, this needs to be extended more than the 6 months.
Fact, because we know. Like, I went there for an afternoon. I was there from like 11 till 6, and it just wasn't like I barely saw any of it. But some other updates on Expo, just so you're aware, nannies and housekeepers can actually visit for free throughout the whole time. You just need to bring your residency visa and your job title to the ticket booth, which is incredible.
100%.
And another one of the biggies from yesterday is Thomas Jefferson, who was, of course, the 3rd US president. His copy of the Holy Quran is now on display at the US Pavilion, which is pretty cool because that obviously dates back to the I always get confused. So he was born in 1743. So is that the 1700s or does it get confused? Is that 1800s?
I think so, yeah. I think he's right. But also, by the way, this is the first time it leaves the United States ever, and it played such a massive significance. He was always fond of our region and the culture over here. He'd also celebrate Ramadan with people from around the world. So yeah, I think the entire Quran has a massive significance, like that specific one. He also got it translated to complete precision because he didn't want to misconstrue anything or have an information relate to him in a certain way.
So incredible to know that back then he was as open, and that's kind of literally what Expo is about, is this kind of open and tolerant personality and behavior. Shout out to Thomas Jefferson. We're learning more.
Good old Tommy. And also, the Minnesota representative Keith Ellison became the first Muslim to become elected for Congress in 2006, and he chose to be sworn in with that specific Quran. So
interesting.
Right?
Knowledge dropping down at the US Pavilion, and that's just another one to check out. We're trying to bring you all of the Expo updates every day, but we can't. But what we do love is your stories. So if you're down there at the site, please tag us in your stories at Lovin Dubai so we can reshare them, and also just get an even bigger picture. Like, I'd love to see that one of those like snapshots of everyone's stories at the end. Like if they had like this entire interactive display, which I feel like is like buzzwords at the moment, but this entire display of everyone's stories that they've shared from Expo and all the tags.
The dome.
Be so cool.
That would be literally the coolest thing ever.
We need to go and take some selfies.
What are you doing tomorrow? By the way, a good way to approach it is to go to the Expo every single day and do a pavilion. I think that we'll get through.
So there's 6 months. 6 multiplied by 30 is...
You can finish it in 4.5 months. Oh. I don't know if the math is correct.
No, you would do more in a day though.
Yeah, literally. But just like immerse yourself in each and every experience and live in the moment.
Live in the moment. Speaking of not immersing ourselves in an experience.
This next story is literally a movie that you wouldn't want to be a part of. That's what it sounds like. So basically, the Dubai police recently foiled a smuggling attempt of 500 kilos of pure cocaine into the country in an operation dubbed Scorpion. The drugs were hidden within the structure of a shipping container, having a street value of more than 500 million dirhams, which equates to 136 million US dollars. So I think that's 7 houses in Bel Air.
I was gonna say that's like 7 rich people houses. That's 136 million. That's like hundreds and hundreds of houses.
I know. Yeah, not in Bel Air though.
Apartments and we're advertising an apartment with Prescott. By the way, they have apartments from 386,000 dirham in Al Farjan. So that's anyway. I digress.
I didn't read the script yet for that. So according to the Dubai police, the operation is the greatest narcotic seizure in the region. The drug bust has led to the arrest of a Middle Eastern gang member who was acting as a middleman for the international drug cartel within the country. The police received a tip of a large amount of pure cocaine being transported in a cargo container, which led to them forming an investigative unit after monitoring the suspect. Sorry, my bad. The police caught the suspect red-handed and opened the container in his presence. And lo and behold, narcotics worth 500 million dirhams were found in the container. Thoughts?
One of the biggest drug busts in the region in history, so huge. First thought is,
why?
What? Who knew that people were attempting this when Dubai police are so on point?
Literally, like nothing slips them. Like nothing at all. And I would be terrified to even approach the idea of literally doing anything that's illegal. Not that I'd want to.
Factual.
And B, you know how on point they are over here. Like nothing runs by anyone here. We're in a super safe country. The federal authorities do everything they can to make sure that we're in the safest environment we possibly can be in. Why would you want to attempt it?
True. Why? However, my favorite thing about this whole story is the video.
I know.
Like I see it come out, and I think if you're watching on Facebook, you can see the video that Dubai police share. So it's called Operation Scorpion, and like you said at the beginning, it's the movie you don't want to be in because it literally looks like an action movie, and you hear like the sound and the audio quality is fantastic, and you see it happen, and it's so hard to believe that there's this man and his white wife beater who's actually part of this international cartel that Dubai police have just picked up, and we're seeing it. It's so real.
I know, it's literally insanity. It doesn't feel real at all. And also, Dubai has so many things.
Scared thinking of it. I'm like, don't come at me in my house.
Why would you want to approach that lifestyle in Dubai of all places? There's literally something to do every day of the year, and drugs should be one.
So don't get involved in a 500 million dirham sting operation. We've seen a number of these types of videos before with Dubai police, and it usually is when there is a kind of a massive concerted effort involved. Like I remember the Hush Puppy video that was dropped, and that was kind of a move along. Like the FBI were involved, and there was international crime people involved as well. It was 3 groups together, and that video was just as surprising and shocking. But this is Operation Scorpion, one of the biggest drug not heists, busts in history in the region. And Dubai Police dropped the video. And if you're watching on Instagram, we also shared it on feed yesterday, so I recommend checking it out. But that wasn't the only bust recently, by the way. In terms of Dubai Police, they also found a corpse in Naif. And it's just an interesting mix of 2 kind of very surprising drug stories, because in this case, the man had tragically died. He had 41 pills in his body. 44 had come out. So he was obviously a trafficker, a smuggler, and Dubai Police found him in that state. It's a very sad, shocking story, but also the fact that any of these stories should be a reminder that drugs are just not it. In this country. Like
nothing good comes out of it.
Nothing good comes out of it. Not part of our society at all. And I think a lot of residents are very appreciative of that. And the police take an incredibly hard line to anyone involved in drugs. So steer clear.
Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry.
That's all we gotta say.
That's all we gotta say. However, we'll move on to a lighter note. Finally. I feel like this story is 3 weeks old. However, in fact, this was released yesterday. Ali's clapping. Let's give it a quick. The weather in the UAE is finally going to start to cool this weekend in the coastal areas.
Oh.
We're in a coastal area.
It's all coastal areas here.
Finally, it's been sticky. It's been hot. But this is the news we've been waiting for. The National Centre of Meteorology forecasts a gradual decrease in temperatures, and it's expected to happen this weekend in coastal areas. So following a detailed weather forecast yesterday issued by the NCM, tonight and for the rest of the week, you can get it all on Lovin Dubai, which we've shared. The weather is finally going to decrease. And that's actually all the information you need. It's hot, it's sticky. Like what date are we?
11th October.
I was reminiscing of this point last year and of trips that we had done, like out to the desert and stuff. And I know like people are kind of like inching back out at the moment, but for me, I've just been too long of a hot, sticky summer.
Yeah, literally.
It's time.
It literally is time. And I remember you asking at some point, you're like, when's the end of summer? And I was like, end of September. We're good at the end of September. No, we're not. It's finally cooling down, which is amazing. Going to the beach is not going to be sweaty or sticky. So I think that's progress, you know, like we can
hopefully.
I can finally bring my winter jackets from home. Hannah, if you're watching.
To the office? Surely you need them already because it's freezing in the office, no?
I do. I need all my clothes with me. I spoke about this the last time also this year, but I'm very insistent on having my clothes here. But yeah, like, just like outfits can change
Insistent
now.
to who? No one else really minds if you do. Just go get them.
I'm trying.
Who are you insisting to?
Myself.
Yeah.
Taz.
Okay.
Hannah.
Taz is our office manager.
We've been having these conversations every
and
single day.
And she's really invested in Shahir's winter wardrobe, as I'm sure you're aware.
We're waiting to see it.
But now I can wear them. It's not summer anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I sit beside an AC. But so it wouldn't make a difference if I bought it into the office or not. But it's great news.
It is great news. Finally, it's going to inch below, I don't know, 38 down to a 35. But like the golf is coming up, all of these amazing outdoor activities are coming up, and we need to know that we're able to enjoy them. And I just feel like this summer has been a little bit longer than other summers. Maybe it's just a personal feeling, but I just feel like super claustrophobic about the heat at the moment.
Yeah.
And I just need it to stop.
Same.
I was outside on a terrace at the weekend, as you are, and I'd been inside in the AC, and you go outside in your sunglasses and they fogged up, and I was like, no, it's October. We're talking about Halloween. It's autumn. Where are the leaves?
Yeah, literally.
You know.
And it's also my first. This has been my longest summer in like the last 7 years, so it's been a lot.
Because you've been here.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of us didn't travel as much this summer. But,
yeah. Well, I only moved back here beginning of this year. So it's been really shocking having to deal with summer as the only season for so long.
We have hard lives.
So hard.
Do stay tuned. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we have none other than a master chef on the show. We're going to join by her very, very shortly in 30 seconds. Instagram, go on to Facebook right now so you can watch the show.
Guys.
Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. If you ever feel peckish at midnight or you want to switch up your meal routine, our next guest has you covered. She was a finalist on MasterChef India Season 4 and is the co-founder of multiple renowned restaurants. Welcome to the show, Nahad Dibaksha. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing very well.
Thank you for bringing us snacks. It's the first thing I noticed. We're going to talk all about you and your history and all the MasterChefing and all of the restaurants. But first of all, what do we have?
So right now in India we have a festival going on. It's called Navratri. So a lot of people in India are Hindus, and for Hindus this is a very big festival. We don't really celebrate it at home because I'm a Jain. But yeah, so in Navratri it's like the Lent. You know, so you fast, etc. So I just got you like a sweet.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, it's called laddu.
So you fast. So what's interesting is because obviously in Ramadan you fast for the entire day.
Exactly.
But in Lent, how I would have done it growing up was you pick specific things that you're going to abstain from.
Yeah. So this is pretty similar. So what you do is a lot of people don't consume alcohol. They will not eat any meat. They will give away. So you know, in Ayurveda or you know, like yoga, you know how they say that you have different types of food. So people go for the sattvic food, which is considered like you give up onion, garlic, and lots of grains and stuff. People give up a lot of stuff.
You give up garlic.
Yeah, exactly. How do you give up garlic? Like, yeah. So people give up a lot of things. And then, but yeah, sweets are a big part of it. Sweets are a big part of any kind of celebration, I think.
100%.
So these are laddus. These are so.
Shall we have one?
Yes.
Which one should I have?
It's the same actually.
Well, it looks like this looks more rose.
This is rose and this is pistachio.
Oh,
yeah.
pistachio, please. Thank you very much. Shahir, Ali, will we have some treats before we begin the interview?
Sure. I don't mind if I too.
Thank you so much. These are, by the way, I don't know
so
if
these
you can
are like
see.
your truffles. But you have, so these are laddus.
This is delicious.
It's nice.
This is really good.
Thank
you so much.
So this is inspired from India. We have all the Indian flavors, which is saffron, which I'm sure everyone in the Middle Eastern region loves. And you have cardamom, and you have nuts, because we love nuts too. And pistachio is my favorite.
I feel very greedy because I'm going to tell you how good this is, and you can't have some, but it's fabulous. But let's give people an overview of who you are, rather than just sharing beautiful treats with us. We'll get to MasterChef, but first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself now and what you're doing.
So I am, by qualification, I'm actually a food technologist. I studied science and I graduated in chemistry, specialized in foods. I was working as a research scientist. I was a flavorist with an American company in India, and then I've lived in a lot of countries. Last 2 years, it's been in Dubai, and yeah, it just so happened that MasterChef came my way. I quit my job, which I used to love, by the way.
Well, interesting, because you said you're a flavorist. I'm like, what is a flavorist? Can I be one?
So, you know, you see these essence bottles, like a vanilla essence or a strawberry essence. I used to create those. It was, for me, I feel it was the coolest job ever, because it gave you an opportunity to replicate nature.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like your sense of flavor and taste and smell, you must be off the charts if there was a scoring system for that.
For sure, because the thing is that I feel that, you know, I think because I love cooking, I could be a good flavorist. Because I think I had a sense of balance. You know, because when you cook every day, you're very intuitive. You know, you never like weigh things every day, but you have a sense of balance. But what was amazing about my job was that I could. So when you see a vanilla, vanilla. I wouldn't say vanilla. When you see a strawberry essence, it doesn't really have strawberry. It's just a mixture of chemicals. You know, these are organic chemicals that you see. Like, you know, you have aldehydes, you have alcohols, you have esters, etc. blended together for it to smell and taste like a fruit. So I think that was the coolest. It was the coolest job ever.
Well, I also think that's the coolest. However, then you went on to MasterChef and the rest is history. So how you actually said that it just kind of came along, and I think the way that you got onto MasterChef is quite unique.
So I think that so I used to cook every day. I used to love cooking. I used to live alone in Delhi, and I started cooking because I just wanted to explore something new. And my mom's a great cook, so she said, "Oh, you should cook your meals." And I started cooking.
What age were you when you started cooking to explore?
I was young when I started cooking with my mom, but I think I would say that I started like full-fledged cooking when I was 20. Like full on. Like I cooked every day. And I had no idea. I had no idea of, you know, measurements, and I had no idea of quantities. I always ended up with extra food. And that's how I started taking food to work. So, you know, I was always like, instead of cooking for one person, I always ended up with food for at least 3 to 4.
It's hard to cook for one. It's so hard. It's a problem I have. I don't take it to work, and then I just have extra at home all the time.
Yes, I would always take it to work. Because if I have extra, then I have to eat leftovers, correct? So it's better to share. So I started taking it to work. My colleagues started tasting my food. And I think they got me like really high. They're like, "Oh my God, it's so amazing." And
they were wrong, right? That's amazing.
They were like, "Oh, you must go on MasterChef." And I was like, "Yeah,
wow,
I'm really talented. Maybe I am, you know." And that got me really excited. And I went for MasterChef. And yeah, I mean, no, it wasn't a plan as such. It just so happened that, yeah, it got me very interested in food.
But with MasterChef, I think, did you apply, or they applied for you, and then it took a couple of times before you actually made it to the show? So how did you, let's say, from going from people telling you your food is really good to you needing to really persevere to get on that show? So what was that journey like?
So a lot of people already know this, but so I went on MasterChef India season 2 first. I got eliminated. And then I attempted season 3. I didn't get selected. And then I went on season 4, and then I became a finalist. So it was a long journey. You know, from 2011 to 2015. So 4 years.
You showed them. You showed season 3.
You don't deserve me.
Exactly. What's season 3? Don't know season 3.
So I think that what was amazing is that you know, from 2011 to 2015, until when I was on the show, it gave me that time to actually nurture my dream. You know, nurture my passion actually, not my dream. You know, I think nurture my passion, because, you know, I feel that, okay, a lot of people cook great food. I'm sure there are a lot of people who cook better than me, you know, but I think it's all about, we live in a world where probably we don't need validation, but we need that extra push, you know, and something like MasterChef just gives you that extra push to just internally let you know that yes, you're good. You know, not many people, I mean, how many people really truly believe in themselves?
That's a good question.
You know, like now is the world, because of social media, etc. We're all talking about believe in yourself, go chase your dreams. But a few years back, yes, people were a little, like, to leave a corporate job, a well-paying corporate job, which is so rare, and take that plunge is hard.
MasterChef helped you do that. What do you think pushed you, though, I think, because you were on season 2 and you didn't get on to season 3. What was that push for season 4? Because that must have been quite challenging.
So I'm a chaser in life. I'm a chaser. So I will go behind things until I get them. until I get them. So I will make sure that I keep on pushing until I am satisfied. So I think it was that. In fact, I want to tell you one thing that, you know, I've never been a social media person. You know, the lockdown changed me. Like my sister has been in PR and you know, corporate communication for the longest time. Everyone around me would always push me to do a lot of things. But I think that, you know, when you start believing in yourself, when you've made up your mind, I think that is when the tipping point happens. And that's what really happened for me.
Can you tell us one thing about being on MasterChef that may not be obvious to the average viewer? Because I assume it's like, is it as high intense as it looks? Like the sound effects on MasterChef shows, I'm just like sitting on my seat being like, you need to finish. You have 30 seconds. You can't ice a cake in 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Is that what it's like?
It's dramatic.
It feels dramatic.
It is dramatic. Yes, it is high pressure. It's competitive. It's like next level competitive because it is real competition.
Even behind the scenes between the competitors? Really?
It is competitive. Because what happens is, you know, like, okay, you are a bunch of say 50 people and then you get reduced to like 24 and then 12. Until the 12, it's okay. But when people start getting eliminated every week, you know you could be next. And you know, your competition is your roommate. So that's when real competition kind of kicks in.
Blossoms.
Yeah, and then, you know, there will be, again, you know, this is all like candid things that I'm sharing. But your best friend on the show is your competitor. So, and it's a serious competition, like I said. It's not just, you're competing for a big prize money. You know, so apart from the prize money, there's a title. So title plus prize money, right? So you're competing for a lot of things. So I think your friends, your peers on the show become your competitors. And towards the end, I'm telling you, when it reaches like 5, 6 people, it starts getting intense.
Well, it always looks intense on the shows.
Yeah, and then, you know, because you spend like, by the way, you know, you see like 30, 40 minutes of the show. We shoot for like 15-ish hours. You know, like how the shoot is, right? So 15-ish hours and all the other time that you have at home, you know, in the MasterChef house is spent on reading, learning. I'm telling you, like towards the end, people will stop discussing
what they're doing. Of course, because you're going to
strategies. Yeah.
And a final question on MasterChef: the judges' reactions, are they ever, I guess, increased for drama?
I would say yes.
Of course.
I would say yes now, because I feel that, see, ultimately, I always say that any kind of reality show is a commercial show, correct? So you got to make it dramatic. It's like news, of
course.
Unless and until there is drama, and like, you know, 100%. You did such a cool story right now, you know, the Mission Scorpion, right? So the Operation Scorpion, correct? So because there is so much like
drama,
people want to know more. True. Same is for like reality shows, because they're real people really competing, so people want to know more. And you know, they want to know, people see now with like dance shows and music shows, you can hear, you can watch, but with food, what is it like? You can only taste and tell. Well,
the drama that they can make out of cooking shows these days is just phenomenal. So what opportunities do you think the show brought you from? You were a finalist, got to the final 3. Unfortunately you didn't win, but your career has really expanded since then.
So I feel that MasterChef in general is just the gateway to what's beyond. I feel so. You know, so I feel that you could be a winner and do nothing out of it, right? Just sit on your whatever, the title or whatever.
What's the point of that?
I mean, or you could be like, even like not on, like somebody who did not make it to top 12 or like get the limelight, but make it big. I know a lot of such people. So I feel that MasterChef definitely gives you that kind of push, but it's all in your hands. I'll tell you what it did to me. So post MasterChef, I was exhausted and I needed a break. I took a sabbatical from work. I traveled to a lot of places. I went to China for some time. I went to Thailand. I wanted to explore, these are my 2 favorite countries for food. So I wanted to explore food and just take a break and know more about the culture in its true form. So experience some food there. And then I thought that, okay, the break is nice. Now what next? I met my cousin and we decided, let's work on a restaurant concept. and it started shaping up. It took us 1 year to actually develop a concept of what we wanted to do, because the restaurant space is very cluttered, right? And then we wanted to come up with something new.
It's cluttered, but people appreciate quality as well.
100%. And I think that is why both of my restaurants are popular and they're well known and they're spoken about only because of the quality. One of the restaurants is farm to table. So everything is fresh and we grow a lot of things.
Where is that?
Jaipur. So that happened. And then I feel that, like I said, you know, my sister, she's always been pushing me that you're talented, but you know, your restaurant is like, there are geographical limitations to it, correct? Not everyone's going to come and dine there. So she was like, okay, you need to push yourself and post more content. You know, I was at 8,000 followers on 20th of March 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. So
tell us about the increase post-COVID.
So I never posted on social media. I was never on social media. I never even looked up, you know, Instagram. It was never it was never my, I should say, area of interest. But then I think the lockdown really changed things for me because I started having a lot of free time. And I had a lot of friends who reached out to me and said, I need the recipe for this. The restaurants are shut down. Can you send me this? Can you send me that? And then I was like, yeah, restaurants are shut down. People can't eat out. And not everybody knows how to cook everything. So whatever I started cooking at home, because you remember Dubai was shut for a few days.
I know, it was, you needed a security permit to leave your house.
Yes, we had to file for a permit, etc. So that is when Dubai was shut down. And I was like, oh my God, we can't eat out. Because we're all used to eating out, like at least 2-3 meals. So I started this thing where I was like, okay, I'm going to make a new cuisine every day. Every meal is going to be unique. And while I was making it, I was like, what a good opportunity to even share it.
We'll have some videos up beside us so people can see the journey of your food sharing. And you went from, let's say, 8,000 in 2020.
Yeah, to like 200,000.
That is a big increase.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, like, you know, everybody in the world started getting interested in cooking. Cooking was like, I would say, the new guitar.
What do you mean? As in, like, the banana bread?
Yeah, like, you see, like, everybody was cooking. It was the new cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Correct? Yeah, like, you know, it became the new
Dalgonas.
Cool. Yeah, the Dalgona coffee, the banana bread, and like, everything, you know, and people wanted to share it. Because everyone was, okay, food brings happiness. This is a universally accepted truth, that food brings happiness. And people had no source of entertainment as such.
And you're sharing it with people around the world. And then also from farm to table, you also now have Meraki. Yeah,
Meraki Kitchen. So yeah, like, I mean, I feel that because people were not being able to dine at even my restaurants, people were reaching out to me saying that we missed the food. I was like, okay, here is an opportunity for you to try my recipe. And honestly, you know, like last 2 years have been very, very different to what I set a vision for myself. Maybe sometimes you limit yourself.
So do you think the last 2 years have helped you expand your vision?
100%.
Tell us where you see your vision going.
So I realized one thing. So right before the lockdown, I had shot for a few TV shows which are being aired in the UK. And they're cooking shows. I realized when I was shooting for those shows that I love camera. I love cooking on camera. I love doing things, and this is something that I enjoy. You know, like restaurant, yes. Restaurant business is very, very, very hectic.
This is the thing. My mom is a chef and she was a chef and she would suggest us not becoming chefs because the restaurant business is too hard.
Exactly. So I would never want, you know, anyone close to me, friends or family, to get into the restaurant business because it's hard. I mean, you give up everything. You give up your holidays and weekends.
True, I saw it growing up.
Yeah, so you just give up everything to make other people happy, right? So I think that it's an internal choice that you kind of have to make. But like I said, you know, I never thought that I would enjoy camera. From a person who would never, I'm not an actor as such. Like, you guys are so nice. Like, you're like a host and so amazing.
We're writers. We just found a camera and turned it on and here we are.
But I started enjoying it.
Yeah.
I started enjoying it and I saw that I was improving. I was getting better. You know, as I mean, when I did more of it, I was getting better. So I started enjoying it. And then social media, because social media gives you instant gratification.
It's very interesting. Whether or not it's actually great long term is another question.
Whatever, yeah. But then social media does give you like instant gratification. I would say good, bad, whatever. You know, you'll get a lot of good. So I got a lot of people send me very, very heartwarming messages during the lockdown. People send me messages saying that, you know, cooking these recipes helped me get out of depression, and cooking helped me overcome things, and oh, my family's so happy. And I was like, wow, this is amazing, you know, and I could totally relate to it because I follow a lot of YouTubers very closely and I love them. You know, they're like superstars for me and I really, really love them. So I realized that this is a great way to share love and some positivity in your own capacity.
100%. And it's obviously doing so well because you've ramped up the followers up to 200,000 and you're sharing what you're sharing is, I guess, inspiring, and people love to share it themselves. And I think food is such an emotional thing that people really enjoy it. Unfortunately, this is the time that we have. However, if people would like to follow you and to share your journey and to learn more about you, how can they do that?
So you can follow me on Instagram, which is Neha Deepak Shah. It's NEHA
You're going to be hungry as soon as you see this page.
Shah, SHAH. I cook nice food. So if you like cooking and food, then you must definitely check out my page and follow.
Guys, that is it. All we have time for on the Lovin Dubai show this morning. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Stay safe, wash your hands.